Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Always a good day. We have our friends in that are tied to and related to and collaborating with Susan Clausen, who's just absolutely knee-deep in the theater realm here in San Diego County. Joining us are friends from the Trinity Theatre Company. Connor Boyd is the Associate Artistic Director. How are you doing there, Connor?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very, very good. And we already established before the show started that you're the ones who founded it, not your brother, even though he thinks he did, right?
Correct. That is absolutely correct, Sean. I founded it, not you.
That's right. Very, very good. I think that's terrific. Joining you is the director of the play we're going to be chatting about, Tuesdays with Morrie, Sharonfaith Horton. How are you doing, Sharonfaith?
I'm great. Thank you for having us today.
Right, exactly. So you familiar with this play?
I'm very familiar with this play, yes.
Because you've directed this before, have you not?
I have, and this time I have a different venue, which is our new home in Mission Valley, which is terrific, and a different cast.
Oh, that's exciting.
Beautiful show.
No, that's beautiful. And you've got a colleague sitting right next to you, the assistant to the executive director of Trinity Theater. That's Linday Bates, who's also a teaching artist, who's also an actress, who's also a set designer, and what is called her a chief cook and bottle washer as well. How you doing there, Lindsay?
I'm great. How are you?
That's a good idea. Right before the show started, Lindsay was showing me her bluish hands because she was doing some set painting. Very, very good. And we're going to talk about that as well. You know, Connor, this is certainly a very, very popular play. It's a popular book. Talk a little bit about it. So Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom, right? Well, we're going to do it over to Sharonfaith.
Oh, okay.
Connor, we just took away your founding membership. Okay.
Revoked.
Okay.
Tuesdays with Morrie is a story of a Brandeis student and his favorite professor, Morrie Schwartz, and how they meet again in 16 years after that original relationship at Brandeis University. It's the story of two men who have built a relationship before, but when Mitch finds out that his favorite professor is ill, he decides to go visit him, and they proceed to have a relationship every Tuesday and build it until the end of his life.
Yeah, and Mitch, that Sharonfaith is referring to as Mitch Albom, one of the top sports writers in this country. He was at the Detroit Free Press. I think it was also probably on one of the shows with Dick Schaap, if I'm not mistaken, and some of the other great sports writers. But I remember when the book came out, man, everyone was reading it. And then, of course, it became this play. And to your point, I think you'd mentioned before the show started, you were a psychotherapist and as well. And this really touched you in that vein as well, did it not?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, Lindsay, what has attracted you to this play besides the fact you had to design the set?
It's one of those where you feel such high joy at points, and then you feel this like reverent low that is something that we're not always comfortable with feeling in a theater space or in our own private home. And it's one of those things that you get to sit in for a second and then you come out feeling like a new person with a new perspective on life.
No, that's terrific. And Connor, we were teasing a little bit earlier though, but why don't you give a little bit of the history of Trinity Theater?
Yeah, so Trinity Theater was founded in 2012 by my brother, his senior year of high school, and his best friend.
At San Diego High, right?
At San Diego High School, that's correct. Home of the Cavers.
I was just going to say the Cavers. Were they always interested in theater? I mean, was your family into theater?
So Sean and I actually started playing soccer and baseball at the YMCA, stuff like that. And then one year when I was 7, I think Sean was 9 or 10, my mom asked us if we wanted to do a play. It was The Wizard of Oz at the Joan Kroc Center. We both decided to give it a shot. She said, go right up to the director, tell him who you want to play. Sean said, I want to be the wizard. I said, I want to be the Tin Man. Director said, keep dreaming, kid. I was a munchkin, and Sean actually got to be the wizard.
Really?
Not in Oz. He's the wizard in Kansas. There was a different actor who played the wizard in Oz, but Sean got to kind of be. So he was the professor, I think is what the actual character was called. But so we started when we were kids. It's been 20 years now. And when Sean was a senior in high school, he decided he wanted to start it.
Okay. So I'm going to take a guess here. Were you the mayor of Munchkinland?
I was not the mayor of Munchkin. I was part of the Lollipop Guild.
That was my next one. I swear to God, I was going to say Lollipop Guild on this.
That's where I was.
Yeah, I've only seen the movie 150,000 times, and it's certainly spectacular. So the theater's been going on now. It's 11 years, correct?
That's correct.
And now you're in Mission Valley. That's terrific. What do you like about being in that space?
Honestly, the people in the area are amazing. All of the local business owners, people who work for the local businesses, everyone who works in that mall is happy to be there.
Nice.
They want to be part of the community. They want the mall to thrive, and they want everyone's businesses to thrive.
No, that's great. So, Sharonfaith, talk about this. This is a new cast that you work. When does the play kick off?
We open on the 10th of November and run till the 19th.
Very good.
Fridays and Saturday evenings and Sunday matinee.
Okay, so 7 o'clock on
right.
Fridays.
It is a 7 o'clock curtain. Yes.
Okay, very, very good. And then tickets are available right now. Is that correct?
They are online.
So you just go right to Trinity Theater and get the tickets. How big does the theater hold? How many seats?
I think we have about 60.
About 60
correct?
seats.
Yeah, 60
okay,
seats.
That's good. Do you have in mind how you may direct this version different than the first one? Or you don't know yet?
No, I do know because we are almost finished with rehearsals. Your cast is always different, and I hope that I grow all the time. So I hope that I've grown with this particular production as well. When you have a different cast and you have a different setting and different set, it's different.
Right, exactly. So do you choose the actors? Are you the one that says, okay, you're playing this person? And that's
yes, Sean and Connor and I did the auditions, and between the three of us, we came up with the cast.
Right, and Sean didn't want to play Morrie this time, is that correct?
No, he didn't want to play either of them. I tried both of them, and they didn't
He wants to
do
be the Lollipop Guild. I totally understand that. We're chatting with Connor Boyd, Associate Artistic Director of Trinity Theatre Company, joined by the Director of Tuesdays with Morrie, Sharonfaith Horton, and Linday Bates, who is a set designer and does a whole bunch of other things with Trinity Theatre as well. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community spotlight. Been doing this for 17 years, broadcast here in the Mission Fed studios in Scripps Ranch and Mission Fed Credit Union has been doing great things for San Diegans for more than 60 years. Connor, talk a little bit about this as well, and you can certainly add to it, Sharonfaith and Lindsay, if you care to. You guys are laser beamed in working with the schools, correct, in education?
Yeah, working with education is a big part of what Trinity Theatre does.
Okay, and who got you started into that? I mean, that's something you and your brother really wanted to do? Is it because it started at San Diego High, or it's just something, a passion of yours?
Well, Sean and I started in youth theater. They were educational programs that we started in. So we recognized very early on how beneficial that was to the kids, not only the kids themselves, but their families, their parents, the community in general. So arts education is very important to us.
So Susan Clausen, we chatted about Susan before, and she's done a great job bringing marketing and PR to the theater world here in San Diego. She's also a great actress as well. I mean, Susan's heard me say this a million times, but maybe the first time you folks have heard it. I can't talk about visual performing arts enough. I was honored to work for San Diego Unified many moons ago, and when I did, I worked very closely with Kay Wagner. Kay Wagner, if you know that name, iconic. She became the first executive director of the Children's Museum downtown. I've always maintained, I have a curriculum business myself still, that you can teach every subject under the sky, okay, with visual performing arts. You can teach math, science, language. Science, I guarantee Lindsay knows. Building sets and all that business, physics, history, language arts, everything just in that realm. And I'm so glad you're doing that. I hope I live to the day, and Susan's heard me say this many times, where they finally have waken up. And I guess there's some more money pulling into VAPA, which I'm glad to hear. It's about time in this, that the only subjects they should never have cut from the curriculum is visual performing arts. And then, of course, my math and science friends go, you're an idiot. But I'm saying, no, you can teach math and science within that. And we all know that. You can teach history within it, language arts. There's not a subject you can't teach within it. So I think that's great. And I think it's getting a lot of more momentum. People are understanding that A in STEAM is just as critical as anything. It's where the innovation comes from. It's where the creativity comes from. And Sharonfaith, especially in your world, it's where the empathy comes from with plays. Talk about that.
Well, I too am from the schools as a district counselor and a counselor for many
City
years.
schools?
Yes. No, not city. Other districts.
Okay. You can say other districts.
I retired in Alpine, and I also
Nice.
worked for Cajon Valley.
So with David Miyashiro? So David is the current superintendent.
No, I left before David came in.
Janice Cook?
Remember that name?
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
I used to work for a lot of the schools there.
Yeah.
Talk about how important that the empathy aspect is.
Empathy is part of the bottom line, and I started in the schools with kindergartners teaching empathy because that's where it starts and needs to start for sure. But this particular show brings that up in an interesting way to me with the actors. They have become friends. I actually asked the Morrie actor to do some mentoring because we have a younger actor as Mitch, and they've become good friends, and so their empathy has built. Anybody that comes into the theater at rehearsal time, I have a friend who is with the ALS Society, came in and was pulled also emotionally. So it's very important to build compassion and empathy.
Well, Lindsay, I think what's so important about this, and you've been around this for a while, we talk about it pretty much incessantly on our Spotlight show. This world needs a ton of empathy. That's an understatement of the millennium of the world and that aspect of it. Talk to me a bit what brings you so close to the theater and why you like it so much.
Oh, I grew up doing theater, and I remember all the people who made such an impact on me and who inspired my passion in the arts. And I always wanted to hopefully become that person for other youths because I remember them so vividly, and they brought me to where I am. Yeah,
and talk about this, and then we'll go to break, but I want to hear from you, is it brings people together, and it brings people together from, diverse, backgrounds in disparate neighborhoods and so forth. Doesn't make a difference. You're black, white, polka dot, Martian, Venetian. And now you're exposed to people that, wow, I didn't know about this about you. Talk about how important that is.
absolutely. It's interesting. We have a teaching artist who is also my significant other. His name is Austin Myers. He has nephews who have never been involved in theater, never showed a real interest in doing what we were doing. We roped one or two of them into our production of Peter and the Starcatcher, and he turned out to be incredible. It's like his new passion. He's doing other programs at Trinity now. And it was absolutely insane to see him just come completely out of his shell. We were like, who are you?
Yeah, well, that's what theater does. When we come back from break, we're going to talk more about that aspect of it, get a little insights into Sharonfaith of how the play is all going to turn out. It's November the 10th to the 19th. We're going to be playing out in Mission Valley, and then we'll chat more with Connor and what other types of plays and ideas he has for Trinity Theater when we return to Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 17th year. We are brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing great things in San Diego. They've been doing it for more than 60 years. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year, joined by the cool cats from the Trinity Theatre. Connor Boyd, Associate Artistic Director, joined by Sharonfaith Horton, Director of Tuesdays with Morrie, November 10th to the 19th. And with set designer and theater artist and assistant to the executive director and everything in between, Linday Bates. And I really like what you were saying, Lindsay, how theater is such a connector on this aspect of it. Connor, you've been doing this for a while. Before we turn it back over to Sharonfaith, just talk about the different experiences. Here you are. I guess my brother's going to get involved in this. I might as well tag along. What has changed in the world of Trinity Theater for you, or just in general, in a very positive way?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, for me, I've personally grown a bigger appreciation for every single aspect of theater. Growing up, all I cared about was performing. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be on the stage. And now that I'm helping run that theater company, I have to do a lot more than just get on the stage and sing and dance. So I have just so much appreciation and love for everyone who's involved in the theater, no matter what position they're doing, no matter what they're doing. They're helping tremendously, and we need everyone. Yeah,
well, they do, and and maybe Sharonfaith, you can talk about this and jump in, Lindsay as well, and you too, Connor. We want to make this point, and I was really impressed with the folks that Susan would bring on the show during the pandemic, because everything went to virtual, and that is a big course change in all this. But there is nothing like seeing a live performance. Yes, it's nice to see things on TV or video and all that. Don't want to detract from that, but being there live is so critical. Talk about that, Sharonfaith.
It's a thrill. And that's all I can say. Even with a deep show with this, it's a thrill. And the community of Trinity Theatre Company is actually a family. And I was fortunate to join really early on. And so I've been part of all sorts of different things. I act also. And it's that's important to me, is the connections.
So you're out there. So in this case, directing, but you've been acting as well, as does, Lindsay and, of course, Connor. But don't you just sort of thrive on the energy of the audience? Isn't that how critical that is to you? We'll start with you on that, Sharonfaith, and move over to Lindsay.
Absolutely. I first thrive on the energy of the cast.
Okay.
And then kind of take it in. But I love to direct, but I love to be on stage too.
Very good.
I've been on stage since I was 3, so.
Really?
I've been around too.
So just about 10 years?
Yeah, about 10 years.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. Lindsay, you had a beautiful sigh when I mentioned about the audience.
There's nothing quite like the energy and excitement of live theater. Even when things go wrong, it's just incredible how things still come together for the audience, because they don't always know what's happening backstage while we're all freaking out, and the production is wonderful for them. It's just such an experience.
Yeah, and they will not know. And anyone who's done anything like production, whether it's theater production, whether it's movie production, whether it's podcast production, whether I've been fortunate enough to MC a lot of events, you don't see how the stuff is made. And as long as you're calm, everyone thinks it's calm. Of course, there's a fire in the back of the room over there, and the wheels are coming off, and this set just, you better not sit on that chair. It just broke yesterday, and so forth on that. but there's some excitement with that. Lindsay, as an actress, how do you play to the audience? If the audience, for some reason, doesn't have a lot of energy, how does that impact you?
It depends. If they are low energy, you can feel it. And then it tends to be that the actors will try to bring their energy up to be like, hey, come on, meet me up here.
Right.
But an audience with a ton of energy is just incredible. And then there's a whole buzz in the room the whole time.
Right, exactly. Connor, and then we'll turn it over to Sharonfaith. Can you tell? So here's the Tuesday with Morrie is kicking off on November 10, and we hope that all of the performances are going to have this energetic, hair on fire audience, of course, and or whatever it is. Maybe the play doesn't, exude that, or whatever the case may be. But doesn't matter. You can still be engaged with the the stuff of a play as well. Can you get a pretty good sense on day one of how this audience is going to be, or every audience is different?
Every audience is for sure different. I think you go in thinking what you want your audience to experience. Obviously, you're trying to cater this experience to your audience, but you never know how they're going to feel. You no matter what you do, no matter what you try to do, they're going to see it however they're going to see it. And you just hope that they have a good experience and that they're enjoying the show and that they leave either thinking about something critically, maybe feel differently about something that they've thought about for a long time, or just, hey, I had a good time tonight.
You never know where your audience members find personal connections in the story. What sits with them, what doesn't.
Exactly. And, Sharonfaith, do you make any adjustments on here's how day one went, but we need to make some adjustments on day 2 or day 3, or we're going to let this thing play out how we practice this?
I'm pretty much let this play. Let this play go the way it's supposed to go.
Okay.
I just trust that process.
Right. Exactly. All right. That sounds good. What days is it playing again?
Again, it is the 10th through the 19th of November.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday is a matinee.
Right.
Friday and Saturday are 7 p.m. curtains.
Right, exactly. And tickets can go right to Trinity Theatre.
Right to Trinity Theatre Company.
Very good. Exactly. How much longer do you have to build the set? Obviously till November 10, of course. But are you close to building the set, or you got a ways to go?
I'm trying, because I'm also in a show in another location, and I'm running out of time.
Oh, you're running out of time?
This is my week. This is my build-in week.
Right, so will Connor be out there with that? Go, hey, you need to get this thing going, or is he pretty easy guy to deal with over here?
Well,
Connor?
luckily Lindsay's amazing, and I haven't had to do that. She's just been there. She's every day this week she's been in the theater painting and working on some crazy contraption for our set.
And then I go to rehearsal.
And then she goes to rehearsal.
So you're very, very busy. So Connor, I'll start with you on this, and then we'll move down to Sharonfaith and to Lindsay. What can our listeners do to support your efforts? Obviously, go to your plays. What else can we do?
Yeah, first and foremost, definitely come out to our plays. If tickets are too expensive for you, if you can't afford tickets, please go to our website and reach out to us. There are ways that we can get you tickets. We don't want anyone to not see the show because of accessibility issues. We want everyone who wants to participate in theater to participate in theater.
That is absolutely fantastic. Sharonfaith, what else can we do? Again, go to the play, support the efforts.
We welcome new volunteers. Always, because we kind of run on volunteer power. These people are terrific as employees of the company, but we do run on volunteer power. We also have a living room readers program that is a free program on Sunday afternoons at 4, where we read a play, and you come in and you're assigned a role and you read it cold, and it's terrific. We started it online during pandemic because all of us actors were going bananas, and so we had to do something, and so that's where it started, but now it's live in the theater
So
space.
the people who read that, are they just lay people off the street?
Whoever comes in.
So you can find somebody, that's hanging out at the mall and they're having a Slurpee or whatever and say, hey, get in here, you need to read it. Do any of these people turn into actors or actresses?
I think a couple of them are probably going to, yes. I mean, some of us are actors already,
Nice.
but we have one woman that came in off the mall, and she is so excited, and she's been there every single time we've done living room readers. So, yes, I think we will have potentials from people that walk in, and volunteers are just very wonderful.
We have a lot of parents who will
parents.
see our youth production poster outside, and kids will walk in because they're drawn in by a prop that we have in the window or something like that. And they end up asking us, how do they get involved in our youth productions, youth classes? And it's very cool to just see people just walk in the door and then make these connections.
Well, listen, congratulations to all of you. And Connor, thanks for what you do for the schools. It is so important, to say the least. We keep this flame going for many, many, many moons to come. And Sharonfaith, good luck with your second go-around as a director of Tuesdays With Morrie, November 10th through the 19th at the Trinity Theatre Company in Mission Valley. It's a new area. And Lindsay, wishing you great luck with your performance and what you're going to be doing, of course, with the set design. And come back and make a return appearance on the show if you guys would like to do that.
Thank you, Drew, for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely my honor. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. It is the nation's longest running community podcast. Been doing this now for 17 years. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, and Mission Fed continues to raise the bar for us folks here in San Diego County. We've been doing it for more than 60 years. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.